Okay, here we go. So if I'm going to end up after I take a derivative with t to the 8, where do I start before that? No, you just took the derivative of this. You're going the wrong direction. So you have to start with t to the 9th, right? To get down to t to the 8th after you take the derivative. Okay, so t to the 8th is where we end up. So we start out with t to the 9th. But we have no coefficient here. So when you take the derivative, there's a coefficient that pops up, so you got to counteract that. Divide by 9. Divide by the coefficient. 1/9 t to the 9th plus c. Why in the heck do I need to add a c in there? What if there was just a number in there and you take the derivative? Like if this was a 3 and you take a derivative of this, it would just end up as t to the 8th because that 3 goes away. So we don't know what number that is, so we add a c for constant because we're going to start solving and figuring out what c is in certain problems. Yay. So this would then be 111. Y to the 11th plus c. Okay. All right. So now let's look at fractional exponents. No, don't start with the coefficients. Start with the exponent. X to the 4/3. So what would get rid of 4/3? 3/4. So it's 3/4 x to the 4/3 plus c. It's reciprocal. Okay? It's a -2. X to the -1st. -1. So it'd be negative x to the -1st. Or -1 over x plus c. Without an exponent. Okay. So if I have a trinomial, what would the whole trinomial be?
X to the 4. So -4x to the 4.
-1/4 x to the 4.
1/4. Yeah, that's it.
Minus
4x squared.
Okay. Miles just does it in his head super fast because you got to go x squared and then what? 2 times what is 8? 2 times 4 is 8.
Plus 5x.
Nice, Miles.
Woo!
Let's go.
Good one.
I think, yeah, I go in a column after this. Okay. Ooh, radical. This is pretty radical. Okay. For radicals, you should rewrite them first.
So x to the 7/3.
X to the 7/3. The integral of x to the 7/3 is equal to
X to the 10/3. 10/3. 3 times.
Ten.
So close. I'm so close. I was
You got this next one, Ashlyn.
Okay, just like the last problem. What did we do on the last problem? We rewrote it. This one we should rewrite first as well. Into what? The integral of?
2x
Squared. We're going to divide. We're dividing by x. So divide them each by x. 2x squared.
plus 5x minus 2.
So if we integrate that, that becomes?
X to the 3rd.
With a?
1/3.
No.
2/3.
With a 2/3 in front because you have that 2 yet. So
Plus, would it be like x to the, I don't want to say x in reverse.
x squared with a what in front?
2.5.
2.5.
Right now.
Come on,
Sorry.
man.
You want to know what I was going to say? I was going to say like x to the 5th and
All right, minus.
2x. I forgot the plus c personally.
Rewrite it.
There you go.
18x minus 3x cubed.
So then,
It's at 9x squared.
woo! She did that in her head. She's getting better at this.
Minus 3x.
You-
3/4
No,
x to the 4th.
Miles, you messed up.
Making error.
All right.
Okay.
Oh. You get options on this, though.
Okay, good.
So you just guessed.
Yes.
All right. Remember, e to the x is e to the x. So that, okay. And 4 over x is 4 ln of x. So that's d. Sine. Okay, you got to think of, okay, the first derivative of sine is positive cosine. The first derivative of cosine is negative sine. So then when you do an integration, then the signs just flip. So the first derivative of, or the integral of sine is negative cosine. The integral of cosine is positive sine. Okay. So what's the integral of negative 7 sine dx? 7 cosine of x plus c. Okay? What's the integral of negative 36 cosine dx?
Negative 36.
Negative 36 sine x plus c. Because